afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda. Off here to a 1v1 on Pachino Stalemate. In the south we have Altair, fighting here for the British Empire, the Commonwealth. He is setting out with the 1st Armoured Division, tasked with opening up a line here in the German defences. In the north stands Stephenn, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, taking on the role here of the... let's just go with the 90th Panzergrenadier Division. We got a Kettenkraut start here from Stephenn. Alongside his pioneers, Russia out sees as much as he can here. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons for the continued and generous contributions to the Propagandacast, and I'm going to keep making all of these videos, so a big thanks there. And a big thanks to all those people who keep liking and commenting on videos. Helps immensely as well. So off to the races we are here. Sappers heading out each their direction. We got Indian Artillery here for Altair. Classic battle group pick there, of course. Very good, very solid. Has a lot of efficient elements like Valor, Gurkhas, the Volunteer Infantry, and of course you got off-map airburst barrages, heavy mortars really wanted, and of course a variety of other fun stuff. Going here for a double sapper, double Vickers start, no immediate infantry here from Altair. Pioneers advancing in the centre here for Stephenn, and the southwest here we got the Kettenkraut moving up as well. Grenadier moving out there for Stephenn as well. So far, a bit more standard stuff here. We might have seen Stephen's actually using the reconnaissance ability in the Kettenkraut. That was slightly changed. It had one before, but it required you to, stand still, not move at all. Now it's been changed, the vehicle moves slower, but can pretty much just activate it at will. In the centre, their first shots fired. Pioneers rushing for the Church Vickers. They're trying to get close here. Pioneers, though, get the door kicked in and the others barred. Vickers now caught in a bit of a bad spot here as Stephenn there moves ahead. He actually popping out of there. Anticipating opponent's going to move out there. Reposition machine gun. He rapidly follows up the Pioneers here. That said, the Vickers will get in there. And we got the second Vickers coming out. The Pioneers are being forced to withdraw. We got a third Vickers here for Altair. Going all in here. The British 1st Armoured Division apparently sent in one of their heavy weapons companies to meet the Germans head on in a devious maneuver. Meanwhile, though, Stephenn, not a stranger to devious play himself, is going for aggressive Kettenkraut play there, bypassing the front line, going for all the weak spots behind the line. It's going to force Altair to withdraw troops to deal with it. Thumbs up to Stephenn here. Grenadiers in the standoff in the house with his Vickers in the church here. Will need more firepower to flush that out. We got the Pioneers from the base here. Would not be surprised to see some flamethrowers out of Stephenn. Grenadiers for the sappers here. So yeah, this match is definitely off to a quite spicy start here between the two commanders. Grenadiers fighting against the sappers here. In the south, the munitions point almost ceasing. This cuts off the southern fuel point here for Altair. Vickers moving there to catch the Grenadiers here. Other Vickers popping out the church here. Other one in the centre here. We got Grenadiers now to fire from 2 Vickers machine guns. The windows are being absolutely wrecked by a lot of 30 caliber fire there. Grenadiers now being flanked with the Vickers here. It's a pretty rough situation for Stephenn in the start. We've got Pioneers up there getting flamethrowers. They could flank the Vickers here. The Grenadiers holding out, but they can't hold out for much longer. The men are dropping fast and rapidly. Vickers there being pushed back as Stephenn moves up. Vickers advancing here. Vickers falling back. Vickers from to the church. Seeing though the Pioneers for the flamethrowers, they decide, crikey, we need to get out of here. When did we become Australians? Well, happens. So, Stephenn rapidly moving in to occupy the church. We've got a mortar, of course, in response to all of these machine guns. A mortar is an excellent addition here. Victory points wise, Altair's getting the lead over Stephenn so far. In terms, well, not actually, he's got more victory points now, and he's going to get the lead going on Stephenn. There you go, Valor for Altair. Likely planning those Gurkhas because they are really, really good. As for Stephenn, we'll have to see what it's next. We've got more Grenadier here for Stephenn and the 90th Panzergrenadier Division, which itself was formed from the 90th Light Infantry Division from North Africa, and in Italy it had a fairly unique compensation for a Panzergrenadier Division, as it had Panzer IVs in its Stug battalion because they couldn't get enough Stugs, and its Tank Destroyer battalion had some Aventus in it. So, a few fun facts there. Pioneers in the centre, south moving up, mortar crew in trouble. Grenadiers trying to buy time here. In the south, points being seized. Kettenkraut base up as well. We got the Vickers now turn the Kettenkraut into target practice. And now we got more Grenadiers running of Stephenn. No sign of MP40s has been thinking Stephenn probably hasn't gone for breakthrough, though then again, this is Stephenn. He may not even picked a battle group right off the bat here. So he could be going for breakthrough anyways down the road. He could be going for mechanized. He could also go for Luftwaffe. Starting up to cover the flank here of the retreating sappers and hopefully get a finishing wipe. He knows he's going to repair the cannon crap, perhaps kick himself there with that one. In the south, the Vickers is moving forwards here. Still no troops here for Altair. I suspect his plan is very much on Gurkhas here as his mainline infantry against Stephenn, which is why he's going hard on the Vickers, because in theory, if this served correctly, they're not going to bleed so hard. We got a Humber though first for Altair, looking to humble his opponent. And we're over to Stephenn. 3 Grenadiers, 1 Mortar, Pioneers, and we also got the Officers' Quarters out here for Stephenn. An interesting Wehrmacht build here for sure. It does mean all his units now calls of Veterans 1. And it's not with Breakthrough, though, which is where typically you'd see these kind of Officers' Quarters builds here. With the Infantry Company here. So that's an interesting choice here by Stephenn. Very interesting. Curious to see where this goes. And of course, Stephenn is good at using smoke from his mortars. Oh, Vickers in trouble. Vickers is in deep trouble here. Could get wiped. This could be a huge win there for Stephenn, who sees the Vickers and turns against his British foe. Altair there forces the Vickers to withdraw here, but it might be too late. No, gets away. Close call though. Grenadiers in trouble with the Sappers and the Vickers. I think he may have to retreat those Grenadiers sooner rather than later. And we got the Panzer Grenadier Company for Stephenn. Pioneers on watch here. Up north, Kenkrat roaming about. And we got the Grenadiers here as well. So, quite the opener here from both sides. Back in Altair's base. Looks like the Humber got cancelled. So I wonder what Altair's plan is next. Instead, he's going for Stuart light tanks. Of course, Stuart is also really good at pressuring an opponent, can also fend a lot of vehicles, and even some medium armor, you flank it. That said, they didn't know if the Stuart's penetration can't actually safely engage medium armor head on, which is obviously a bit too good. Grenadiers going for the field point. Stephenn keeps up pressure. Still no battle group here though. Vickers moving forwards in the south here. Vickers covering the expectation of Stephenn moving forwards there for the fatherland. Grenadier for here. Got access to flares by the way. One reason you can also like to go for the officer quarters is because that immediate access of flares here, that is actually tactically fairly advantageous, though a lot of Wehrmacht players don't make use of it. Panzer Grenadier for Stephenn, so he's going for Veteran Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier. Interesting choices here. Guessing what transfer out into the Grenadiers for Panzer Grenadiers. And there goes Stuart light tank out for Altair. The M3 Stuart, also known as the Honey Stuart by the British, racing through here, crashing through the terrain. Grenadiers on a fire here, pushing forwards through walls, hedges, trees, you name it, it's advancing for the British Empire. In the centre here, we got the Grenadiers flanking around the Vickers here, forcing it to withdraw south side. Vickers there under fire as well, possibly. There you go, that Vickers takes a mortar hit. And we got the Panzerabwehr on the field to give Stephenn. Perhaps he's planning the Stuke, perhaps he's not, but he's definitely planning for a pack. Mines here from Stephenn, very good work there. It's going to make it a bit harder here for Altair to sneak about, and Stephenn could also maybe catch up the Stuart, making an easy target for the Panzerabwehrkanone. Yeah, Altair, though, despite having gone for Indian artillery, oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. The Gurkhas have arrived. Of course, they are equipped with a Bren gun. Because the Bren gun, the Gurkhas is incredibly efficient. It's not because the Thompsons are bad, it's just the Bren gun is better. Pack 40 out here, though, for Stephenn. And the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division. Panzer Grenadier forwards. In the south, we got the mortar behind the Vickers here, bombarding the position. Good shooting here from Stephenn. Oh, it's coming under fire from the machine gun, which rather ruins the entire thing. Stuart moving forwards here, rapidly roaming about. We got the survival package for self-repairs and smoke. Always a good package there. Machine guns heading southwards, linking up with the Stuart. Stephenn's Grenadiers by the southern nations point are going to be in for a very uncomfortable ride. And they are sent packing. Kenkrat moving forwards, Grenadiers pursuing the Vickers. Got a mindset from Stephenn's Kenkrat. I mean, good use of that mine ability here, which is courtesy of the Stuart Kenkrat there, so thumbs up to Stephenn. In the centre, Panzer Grenadiers with the Gurkhas. Gurkhas, though, being forced back by the Panzer Grenadiers and the Sturmgewehre. Up north, if you're being hit here, mortar. He's finally going for medics there for Stephenn. Didn't need it for a while because the Grenadiers can heal themselves, so that rather diminishes the need, but by now he's got too many other units besides the Grenadiers who are in real need of healing, in particular that mortar there. Grenadiers are south in trouble, need to withdraw the Kenkrat. And you can see that Altair's really just aggressively pushing around with that Stuart here. He's clearly not too concerned here in the early game, and there you go, great shot. 3 men down here, so Stuart's 30-some gun there. Makes short work of them. Gurkhas withdrawing. Not up north here, points being seized. There's a lot of back and forth. A bit of cat and mouse between Stephenn and Altair. At this point, it does look like Stephenn's plan is likely just going to go for the Pack 40s on Panzer Grenadiers. getting up to 4 infantry squads, by the way. Good composition there, at least good infantry number squads there. And then likely going to go for the Panzer Company and advance for, well, Panzers. Still rushing northwards here, another Panzer cannon for Stephenn. Definitely indicating he is going to not go for Stukes here. Sadly, from my perspective, but you know. That's that. Still rushing in here. There's the gun, cracks machine gun there, letting loose of the German grenadiers here. Pack 40s aren't quite nearby. He's probably waiting here to Pantherfaust. Maybe he'll get the Pack 40s up in time, but I think he realizes with the way the Steward is ripping through his grenadiers, that'd be silly. Ooh, we actually got the communication cables up. It's just too bad when he finally has them. It's in front of the Steward light tank. And he just got the cables! Boom. Pack 40 from the Steward, they're great shots. Slamming through the frontal armor. Grenadiers and fire from the Vickers in the center. In the south, now the Vickers moving up here. Altair got his Gurkhas moving again. And we got what looks to be a second Steward. Yes, indeed. If you're going for one Steward, you might as well go for two. But obviously, of course, he actually gets any training for them. But it appears he might have... No, he hasn't gone, I think, for... He might have gone for the Vickers as well, I don't know. Anyways, Grenadiers catching the Vickers out in the open. Gurkhas making the advance on the field point. Stewards lining up here. Mortar and support. And we got the 2 Pack 40s operating in tandem here. As Altair... Oh, I forgot to switch out to Altair. Pushes on the field point here. Yeah, not a lot of infantry for Altair compared to Stephenn. Obviously, he's got the sappers who definitely perform the infantry role fairly well, but he does have the Gurkhas, and he's also a fair amount of light tanks. But still, Stephenn does have 3 Grenadier squads and 1 Panzer Grenadier squad. Stewart racing through here, building under fire. Windows further collapsing, doors, window frames, cupboards, you name it, it's falling apart. Vickers, meanwhile, coming against Assault here, could deploy smoke here. Pioneers still flanking in. Nice flank here by Stephenn's Pioneer. Grenadier assault here forces the guns to withdraw, but it's not stopping the Panzer Grenadier. Flamethrower pushing out the Vickers. We've got the Stewards. The packs aren't ready. It's hectic, and Stephenn has found himself a bit with the back towards the wall here, with most of the map now being British, or soon to be British. And there we go. Altair just following up with more Gurkhas here. More elite Nepalese troops. Ready to fight for the British Empire. And in fact, they still do to this very day. We got the Luftwaffe company. Okay, I was not expecting that from Stephenn at all. But then again, Stephenn is an always interesting player, knows how to make these sort of interesting non-meta plays. So, interesting choice here by Stephenn. I was definitely expecting the Panzer company, and probably would have gone for it. I wasn't going to go for Stukes here, but that's not to say the Luftwaffe company is bad at all. Quite the opposite, but... Oh well, in the south here we got numerous Vickers here forming up, overlapping fields of fire, making any approach here through the southern fields very painful to Stephenn without smoke screens or armor. Stewards moving up here, covering the southern fields further here. We got 380 versus 378 here, Panzer cannon sitting up. And again, the Stewards managed to stay clear here. Great stuff for Altair, less stuff for Stephenn. Up north, the Grenadiers on top of the sappers. Does he have any training here? The answer to that is no. I was actually expecting some kind of training here from Altair, but you don't really need it, but you definitely benefit a lot from having training up in your troops. As a quick side note there, you benefit a lot from it. So after north of the Grenadiers here, Panzer's moving to flank here. Should leave his Samson Troll. They got the Stewards moving forwards here. Moving here rapidly. Got the volunteer infantry, very powerful ability. Probably one of the reasons beside the Gurkhas this battle group is so popular. Good shot. Then we got Jaegers after the scene going for Panzerschrecks. That's why I went for the Luftwaffe company, because Panzerschrecks for the Jaegers are actually a fairly good counter to the light. And there you go, one Steward goes down. 75 minute shell there, goes straight through, cooking off the entire thing. Pantherfaust and Steward, Pack 40 getting cleared up. We've got the Jaegers on the hunt. Panzer's also coming up here, merging with the Pack 40. Beautiful work here. Panzer team arriving here. Suddenly Altair, they're realizing he's gone in too deep with the Steward. He's going to have to figure out a way out of this mess with his light tank. Looks like he may just manage it. Unless Stephenn pulls off a good counter move and gets lucky. Oh! And the Steward goes down! Altair's tanks are both now ablaze. Good work there by Stephenn. Need to upgrade his other Gurkha section, by the way. Panzer Grenadiers, Jaegers working together here in unison. There you go. We got the Aryo Gurkhali against the Jaegers and the Panzer Grenadier here. Intimidating the German troops here before withdrawing. Very intimidating. Watch out, Jürgen! Sehr retreating? Wait, what? Say about bluffing, Otto. They always like to bluff.
We've lost a sector.
And it's oh, not always. It's joking now, obviously. Anyways, Vic is setting up here. Back at base. We got the company command post finally going up here for Altair.
Enemies pushing the line, trying to take one of our points.
So that definitely means Stephenn has more room to catch up now here. With the destruction of the 2 Stuarts. Jaegers though running into issues with the other Gurkhas. And we got the Sappers as well here. So what will Stephenn go for next? He's going to go for the Panzer Company. He's actually going for every Wehrmacht building here. 2 thumbs up to Stephenn. Now that's bloody impressive. Panzer goes for the Gurkhas. Grenadiers holding up as well there. Closing in on the Gurkhas. Geballte Ladung there being chucked in the general direction. Grenadiers flying up here. Got 380 versus 322 grenade assault here to allow them to carry out the retreat here. But yeah, Altair's really got good map control against Stephenn. He's got most of the map. He's caught the center. He's got like both of those field points there. This is definitely an unenviable situation for Stephenn to be in. I think he also transferred out one of his grenadier squads for the Jaegers actually. Vegas there catching the Jaeger squad there, the Jaeger Gruppe, and will force withdraw here. Like, these machine guns are really doing heavy lifting here for Altair. And certainly shows, like, you know, machine guns in general I think are quite good. It's not just the MG42, but generally well-handled MGs in CoH3 are currently really good. Crusader tank all the way here for Altair here. That's going to add more pressure to Stephenn. Of course, he does have multiple anti-tank guns and the Panzerschreck, so he's not completely out of luck here. But certainly things are tough. You got the machine gun, the grenades coming up. You got the Vickers just repositioning a bit here, trying to draw Stephenn further into its arc of fire. He'd commit more men into a possible futile engagement. But now it looks like here Altair might have misjudged the situation, and the Vegas could be forced away. We got artillery called in on the machine gun. Oh, yeah, Vegas going to end up retreating right for it, though. Close call there. Parnese into the center. Vickers come the center here. And there you go. Crusader tank is ready for Altair and the 1st Armored Division. Meanwhile, Stephenn has the Panzer Company up. He's also at this point called in multiple machine guns. So he's going for like a pretty heavy tier 1 when you think about it. Like, we got the Kernkraut, which is now going, the Pioneers, the Grenadiers, and the Mortar +2 machine guns. I mean, he's definitely getting, you know, value for money with his infantry officer quarters. So maybe could have gone for some Starstorm instead of all these machine Gewehren. Just me anyways. All the way though, going to be able before he can call in Panther Force. The Crusader is fine on the move here for Altair. Crashing through the walls. Spreading masonry all over the place. Mortar fire coming to center here. Buildings further crumbling. And there you go. Going for deep aggressive flank here against Stephenn's position close to his base with the Crusader tank here. 2-pounder gun. Delivering high explosive shells. But there you go. Pack 40 at the ready. Forcing Altair's Crusader to conduct the crusade in another direction. Gurkhas there being met with fierce fire. Machine gun there being pushed out of the premises. And then they got the Gurkhas here being hit with intense MG42 fire. Stephenn is slowly but surely regaining some semblance of control here against Altair, but Altair is obviously not making this easy for Stephenn here remotely. Geballte Ladung's being chucked here. Mortar fire, bomb grenades, Jaegers bring up. We got grenades return, the Panzer Grenadier here. Building collapsed right before the Jaegers got in, and that is actually surprisingly lucky there for Stephenn. Had those been like that shot been like half a second later, those Jaegers were trapped in the building and wiped possibly. At least it looked like they're going to enter it. Maybe they weren't. In the south here though, Vickers was the Grenadiers. 157 versus 380. Stephenn really trailing behind Altair now. Got the Crusade racing forwards. Up north, pack footing back here. Panzer reinforcing healing. Stephenn closing on those Panther 4s here. But no. Oh, hit a mine there. Stephenn's mine paying off. Maybe that was a Panther Faust. Machine there being pushed out up north here. Fuel pump being harassed again. Just really aggressive harassment play here from Altair. Like, always just looking for, like, you know, the easiest way forwards to get as deep as he can and do as much disruptive damage here to Stephenn. Like, I think it's very important. He never really tries to, like, get stuck into, like, a, you know, really particular spot against Stephenn. He's always looking to shift. Always trying to, like, bait Stephenn into, like, committing to, like, bad engagements. Always trying to avoid themselves. So, really good play. And now we got Stephenn here summoning the support here of the 2nd Fallschirmjäger Division. And whatever Luftwaffe assets he can, you know, squeeze out of von Kesselring here would appear. An interesting choice there by Stephenn. Jaegers being pulverized by the Vickers. North here pump being grabbed. We got the Panzer being forwards. South here Pioneer moving up as well. looking for a deep flank against the center. So we'll have to see, of course, what Stephenn does with this battle group, besides, you know, infantry reserves and the Stuka strafing run. Are they actually going for the Fallschirmjägers, for example? I mean, they could run him with a nice elite infantry element. Of course, at this point, he might as well go for the Starstruben. At times, I can't help but wonder if they actually lit the voice actors on fire for some of these lines. Like, they're very convincing. Very convincing at times. Anyways, another Crusader tank out here, though, for Altair. In fact, let's pop back to Altair here. Vickers then gain the gains by the Sun Victory Point. We got 380 versus 110. Stephenn really needs to pick up the pace here. Crusaders running north has been equipped with the 6-pounder gun converting into the Mark III Crusader. As a fun side note, but even after the Crusader tank stopped seeing usage, as they, you know, which switched to later Cromwells but also Shermans and whatnot, the turret itself would see usage from the Crusader Mark III on the Stag Hound armored car that actually upgunned some of those armored cars, just slapping a Crusader turret on them with a 6-pounder gun. Very fun fact there. Up north here, though, British forces holding up. We got the 2 Gurkha sections out. Could maybe consider sneaking in some foot guns as well for some bazooka action here versus Stephenn. But so far, Altair just exerting masterful map control here. Stephenn is just struggling here against it. He's trying to break out of it. He's also going for a very, you know, interesting force composition here, which you typically don't see out of a lot of Wehrmacht players in that way. So thumbs up to Stephenn. More to far up north here. Gurkha's under fire. Vickers moving forward, quickly flanked here. Oh, Pioneers caught laying down mines, and the Vickers caught with info too. We got the Crusader slowly probing the streets. We got the Jaegers popped to the nearby restaurant here, ready to fire Pantrix into the side of the Crusader tank here. Plus, we got the Pack 40, and finally, Stephenn's been able to like wrestle forwards a Panther 4 here to support the Truppen at the front line. Great Pantrick hit in the rear of the Crusader. Machine gun being pushed up in front, and there you go. The mine goes off. Stephenn's mine pays off beautifully, and Altair's Crusader is kaput. Stephenn doing excellent work here versus Altair. Excellent. Now with these mines. Again, mines always tend to be like, you know, a big impactful thing that when handled well. So, thumbs up to Stephenn with those mines. More mines, obviously. This is only one thing Altair's lacking. He's not going for minesweepers. He absolutely should go for minesweepers now. Grenades here. And he just lost the sappers. He could have upgraded with a minesweeper, so he's going to have to replace those sappers unless he just decides he doesn't care about mines. Don't worry, chaps. Those mines are just German deception tactics. Another Wunderwaffe. Obviously not going to make an impact. But sir, we use mines. Everyone uses mines. They're proven technology. Pish-posh. Nonsense. Chaps, nonsense. You're just buying into German propaganda.
A Matilda heavy tank has been completed.
Brought up a Matilda. Actually makes sense there, but give us the Panzerschreck Jaegers. Matildas are a very good counter. Got the machine gun here open up in the Jaegers inside the church. So we got the Matilda 2 infantry tank out here for Altair. But Siemens fairly well stabilized now versus Altair. He's fairly well stabilized. Panther getting the Vickers machine gun team out in the open. Got the Crusader moving up, got the Matilda moving up. Sappers on the move as well there. Vickers in deep trouble, and the Vickers crew is expunged from Pachino. Jaegers moving up, but they're still on health. This honestly feels fairly risky by Stephenn. Too risky in my opinion. Jaegers now last hit from Matilda. Recruit the machine gun. Jaegers down just 2 men there. Panther 4 shoots, whiffs. In the south, the Panther's been caught in with the Vickers. Grenadiers can't move further. They're so low on health. Who tried to push in with those Grenadiers, they're going to get ripped apart there. Slow them out in the centre. In the north here, minor engage between Stephenn and Altair as well here. 90th Panzer Grenadier, almost the first armoured. Looks like here, Stephenn might have the jump there on Altair as he builds up more focus on the centre. In the south, though, the Panther 4 forces away the Vickers. Finally, another win there for Stephenn. Pack's ready, opening up the Matilda straight for the side armour. And the armoured combat continues after that Panther 4. Got the flank exposed on both ends. There you go. Got the Pack. The Matilda destroyed the Pack. Great kill there. Full tear. Massive headache for Stephenn. Definitely not good development. His Panther 4's in deep trouble. He could try and pop the veterans one, but that should have been done sooner. Now it's not going to manage. And the Crusader knocks out the Panther 4. Stephenn suddenly looked like he was stabilising, and now Altair has completely thrown that to the floor. like an upset toddler at the dining table. Jaeger's mortar sending out here, reinforcing healing. Another Panther for Stephenn. Up north there, the fighting also went against Stephenn there. Altair and the British Empire is swiftly advancing, leaving Stephenn now in a bit of a precarious position again. We'll have to see what Altair does next. More Matildas, more Crusaders, Grants perhaps. I like Grant tanks myself. Quickly crewing the Panzer Vector with some Pioneer. Jaeger's advancing up there. Panzer 4 moving up, adding the Pinnacle Machine Gewehr. There you go, Jaeger's running to the Vickers. Didn't have time to deploy smoke. Got the mortars nearby that could maybe do the job if, you know, the Panther 4 mortar combat. Yeah, we go, wipes the Vickers. Good kill here, but the Jaegers take massive punishing blows. Again, the Matilda is very good at murdering it. There we go, the Crusader snipes the Jaegers. And the Panzerschreck is dropped. Oh dear, now we got to the corner of the Pack 40 here. Stephenn still got a fair amount of infantry at least, and other stuff, but losing the Jaegers like that and the Panzerschreck, that has got to hurt here. Good shot on the sappers. Up north here, machine gun being flanked by the Gurkhas. And caught by Vickers. This is really bad for Stephenn again. He's got 93 with 296. Stephenn and the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division is holding on narrowly. Grab the southern point. Panther forming forwards. Need to get that Panzerschreck before the British get that Panzerschreck. Mortar there, they almost got the Vickers in the centre. Pioneers in pursuit. What will be next for Stephenn, I don't know. There go Gurkhas in trouble with the Panther 4. We've got two Gurkha sections there. They're ripping into the mortar crew and the Pioneers here. The situation means the sectors here. There go Grenadiers, got the Panzerschreck. Congratulations, you're now a Panzerjäger. But I haven't been trained for this. Don't worry, most never have. What? Mine going off here on the Gurkhas. Could get a wipe here. That would be big for Stephenn. That remove a significant thorn in his side here. There we go. The Gurkhas down to less than a point of health perhaps. And down they go. Gurkhas also withdrawing here. Grab the center. At least Philip on there should be grabbing it. Troops are reinforcing healing. Stephenn driving ahead with full speed ahead. Gurkhas there could go down. We got the Panther opening up the retreating troops here. They're exposed. They're easy targets. This would be huge for Stephenn if he wipes out both of his opponent's elite infantry. We got more Matildas on the way, but losing two Gurkha sections is going to be... Gurkha sections is going to be very difficult for Altair to just bounce back from. Good golly. That was big there. That was very big for Stephenn. Like, that was basically most of his opponent, if not all of his opponent's infantry. And, you know, not just any kind of infantry. Those were Gurkhas. That's really going to leave a mark there. And he's going to have to replace that infantry one way or the other. Gonna hit Sam with the airburst shells, almost taking out the entire Panzer squad. Apparently just leaving the machine gun to rust in the fields. Up north there, Vickers grabbing points here and there. We got 93 with 271 here. Vickers advancing in the center. Grenadier moving up. Another Pack 40 for Stephenn? Alright. Seems a bit excessive, but then again, he's up against so many Matildas, I guess, and did go for infantry service. Doesn't have access to the flak 36. So I guess more packs make sense, though. There's obviously option B, which I would say is the more exciting one, which would be going for Marders with the Luftwaffe company in there. Those would also be, you know, a fairly good counter to the Matildas, just a bit more mobile, and less exposed than to British artillery fire.
Commandant, you have CPs available.
So, third pack ready here for Stephenn. Matilda's leaning back here, being repaired alongside the Crusader. What is he going to do about that infantry deficiency he's currently suffering? That is really going to be a big headache here for Altair as this match draws on. Meanwhile, Stephenn is replenishing and counter-attacking here. 250 points left now for Altair, less than that. Stephenn, though, still at 93. We got Flares here, obviously very concerned, but keeping an eye here on like whatever Altair might do in terms of head-on assault. So, good use of the mortar there, thumbs up. And his mortar crew is actually close to 50. Holy moly, 17 kills. He's really been doing well with that mortar team there. And now we got another tank here for Altair. It's a Crusader tank this time around. So, no infantry, just more tanks here. Panther 4 going hull down here, back up the Pack 40s. That's going to be tough here, I think, for Altair to break head on. Apparently not too hard eyes. We've got the Crusader joining in, but there, Pack 40s joining in here. Panther realizing he can't keep away with this. Got more packs fired. We got artillery called in here. Altair just charging ahead here for the British Empire. Pack cleared out here. Big blow there. Could see the other pack for going down here. He's breaking Stephenn's lines as though they were made out of plywood. More Matildas moving in here. Sappers advancing here through the carnage, through the havoc, through the chaos. The Sappers are getting pulverized. Machine guns in trouble here. Grenadiers come out with the Panther. Could take out the Crusader. And there you go. The Crusader goes down. Stephenn's Panther trick surprise paid off. But the packs are in deep trouble. And the machine gun goes down. Another massive blow to Stephenn. Altair could be at the very brink of just delivering a knockout blow here to Stephenn. That said, his forces are in such a state that if Stephenn were to hit back hard enough here, he could also break Altair. Packs being destroyed here. The Matilda gunners are hard at work. There you go. Both packs destroyed, leaving Stephenn with just one pack crew, one spore. Now turning in the grenadiers for the 2-pounder guns. Oh, going for the machine gun as well. Stephenn has just lost so much equipment here to Altair. And let's pop out Altair again. Grenadiers, they're being absolutely pulverized. The losses and the Panther Shrek is dropped again. What is this, a family heirloom? This one's from Uncle Otto. He used that one in Stalingrad the year before, but the weren't Panther Shreks in Stalingrad. Okay, he grabbed it somewhere in Italy. Shut up and get out there. And there you go. They're forced to pick up the hand-me-down Panther Shrek. Now Stephenn's also starting to run of infantry. Does he have another Panther up there? Yes, he does. Those need repairs. He's also needed some infantry. I think at this point he's got one Panzer Grenadier squad and the Panther Shrek Grenadiers. Some Starstorm could be idea of Fauci makers as well here. And of course, Altair still needs more infantry as well, but he's probably just going to keep spending it on tanks. Oh, he's got one Matilda basically. Does he actually have training for them at the very least? Yes, he has trained his vehicles at least. So, what about some training for us? No, you're not good enough. You're not tankers. Oh, bother. Vickers up north there. Honey's bringing in. There we got another Crusader here for Altair. Another Crusader. We got 188 versus 93 here. Up north here, Stephenn goes for deep flank here. Nicely executed. 2 thumbs up to Stephenn. Brilliant stuff there. The Panzers riding the Sturmgewehrs and loading into the retreating Vickers crew here. Opening up for the Northern Victor point, falling to hands of the 90th Panzergrenadier Division, 5th Panzergrenadier Company. Meanwhile, 1st Armoured continues to empty out the 2nd Armoured Company there. So what will be next for Stephenn? A flak 30. That is an interesting pick here for Stephenn. A flak 30. Wonder what... Could it be for the buttoning effect, maybe? Or was it just with the whatever support weapons he might chuck at Stephenn? I don't know. But the flak 30 is... No, he cancelled it. Okay, it's a pack 40. He apparently misclicked and thought, oh, well, that's a pack, I'm sure. Turns out it was a flak. Yeah, more packs against this does feel a bit questionable at this stage. I do think he really would benefit more from Marders. And he's churning up even more packs. He's really, you know, convinced about the whole pack thing there. Under current circumstances. And, like, if his opponent wasn't, like, going hard on the Matildas and whatnot, I think that'd be a sense of the problem is with all these Matildas. They're kind of designed to, like, soak up hits from the packs and then hit back. Precision up for flank here. This is going to be a big push here from Altair. 106 is 90 feet. He's going to push in the center. The Matilda's spearheading the effort, and the Crusaders going to move up there and spring the trap by flanking in there. Devious set up by Altair. 2 thumbs up. His artillery doesn't cooldown, doesn't munitions, but it's going to keep pushing ahead anyways. Pack, they're going to get flanked. Panther 4 getting flanked. Got the other pack 4 rate. The Crusaders racing forwards here. Air support caught in there by Stephenn. The Luftwaffe arrives here. Almost got the Panther 4 here. Matildas keep advancing here. Luftwaffe going in. There's some hits to the Crusaders. Almost got the Panther 4 here. Pop the rapid 5 Billy, but that's not enough here. Panther 6 on the Matildas. 1 Crusader's down. 1 Panther 4's down. And another Matilda also goes down. Tanks exploding all over the place here. Almost got the Panther 4 here with the Crusader up north. The Matilda's withdrawing here. Vickers pinned down. Almost got the Panther 4. The Crusader's almost down as well here. Ah, they both survive. Oh no, maybe not. We got the Grenadiers with the Panther Shrek. It's Franz with the Panther Shrek. And then the pack steals the kill. His fans like, come on! I almost hats that one! almost had that one. Almost had a 2-pounder shell to the face. Good God.
5.5 howitzers.
That was another brutal exchange between Altair and Stephenn. Like, really, some of these engagements is just spectacular. Again, not been that for Luftwaffe. Stephenn might be in more trouble, though. Again, I can't help but feel he really should keep pushing out these pack 40s against a force composition that he's very good at wrecking them. But that's just me. Oh, to Stephenn.
The enemy has 200 points and falling.
Another Pantherful for Stephenn. Still no Marders. As for Altair, of course, we got that Crusader out there. We got finally some Gurkhas out there. Finally, bring up some more elite infantry here to bring up the front line. Though honestly, at this point, part of me would rather see foot guards to add in some bazooka fire here versus Stephenn's Panzerkampfwagens. As the 90th Panzergrenadier Division is apparently committing every Panzerfort received to this battle. This climactic, this crucial battle of Pachino Stalemate. Vickers there caught on machine corner with the Vickers. Mine goes on the Gurkhas. Half the section gone. Grenadiers for the Panzergrenadier moving up again here. All right to the building, which almost collapses under the weight of Stephenn's mistake of not paying attention to how strong that building was. We got Panzer to the Pack 40 here in the center. The Panther dives forward, going for the Crusader tank here. Turning its guns on the Vickers. Panther moving up, Pack 40 holding up as well here. Gurkhas there in trouble. Vickers in trouble. Mortar firing down death here. Panther moving up here. Could take out the Gurkha. Could take it out. Almost got the Vickers. Altair is taking massively intense losses here again. Down to 93. There's 101 here. Stephenn's held the line.
The enemy is down to 100 points.
Altair's just slowly let himself out. He's still in the fight, but I think he's kind of lost, like, in part what had him going in the early mid-game was like just this immense tactical flexibility, and now he's just obsessing so much in the center run, for example, about in the north and the south here versus Stephenn, which in part is making it easy for him to, like, go up these pack 40s. And to an extent, like, you know, he can sort of make it work, but it's, I think, at this point, really just hit that point where he needs to, like, again, shift up his tactics, but it feels like something has, you know, clicked inside of Altair. It's become, you know, a personal thing. Now he's determined to take that center, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, we finally got some foot guards on the way here for Altair. Thumbs up. Took him a bit of a while to get there. He's getting there. I wonder if that means Stephenn might finally go for some Starstroben or some Fallschirmjäger. Pantherful's occupying the center here. Well, what's left of the center. Got the Matilda there halfway to the east level. Panzergrenadiers, Grenadiers, Machine Gewehr, and Panzer cannoning southwards. Foot guards right around the corner.
Report. The enemy is down to 75 points.
Give us a target.
Bit of quiet here. As Altair is obviously in the process of rebuilding his rather diminished forces. At the same time, he can't wait for too long either. Now he's down to 69 points. He's starting to run out here, actually. He's also finally realizing he needs to push northwards here. Airbus shells to try and keep Stephenn off the southern victory point for a bit longer. He's just doing it to buy time. And I mean, it's going to buy him time, but it may not buy Altair as much time as he'd like here versus Stephenn. Got the foot guards coming up with the Thompsons with the bazookas. And before that gets a good shot, then we got the bazooka fire returning hits here. And we got the strafing run on the northern Gurkhas here. Pinning them down, but not stopping them for long. Got 90 to 55 here. Altair still believes in victory. Crusader though getting flanked with the Panther for the Pack 40s. Takes a massive volley here. The Crusader is almost knocked out there. Close call there for Altair. Foot guards being pushed back for the Grenadiers as well here. And we got a third Panther for Stephenn. He's really building up his Panther for now here. And the situation for Altair is starting to get very unsustainable. Something needs to drastically change here. But the question is, can Altair muster the resources and the will to affect that? Also, Ace Mortar. Thumbs up. Got the Gurkhas there forced back. Panther northwards. And the Matilda's getting caught up with the 2 Panda 4s. Pack 40 joining as well here. Several hits to the Matilda tank here. Half health already here. The Panda 4 steadily advancing. Another series of great hits. Matilda deploys smoke in a feverish attempt to escape here. But I don't think it's going to work out here. Sap's all taking massive loss on the Panda 4. It's back to Altair here. We're at 23 versus 93 here. Altair is hanging on by the most narrow 30 versus Stephenn. He's bringing up more Matildas now.
Sector lost. Repeat. Sector.
Here's Matilda there. Close to the ace level, is also close to destruction here. Looks like Stephenn backs off. 16 versus 93 here. 15. 14. 13. 12. Front line is suspiciously and surprisingly quiet. 11.
Brace yourselves.
10.
We're down to our last 10 points.
He's moving forwards. He's on the move. One last dash towards possible victory. But Stephenn is already got 7 points left. 6. 5. Matilda's lumbering forwards. The Crusaders joining in the foot guard. The Gurkhas all pulling in. We've got Panther Force carrying most of the points. We've got 3 points left. 2 points left. 1 point left, and that is it. GG, game over. Stephenn wins a close win there. Really rough stuff. Again, Altair was just absolutely crashing in the early mid-game, but for some reason, again, he at some point, I think something snapped in him, as mentioned. He just kind of lost sight of the bigger battle and just kept trying to crash the center. Like, he was so obsessed with just, I think, just trying to deliver that knockout blow, and Stephenn, I think, was able to just absorb these blows and just use it to, like, just slowly bleed out his opponent. So I think with the big one was just losing all those Gurkhas, losing all that elite infantry which he never replaced until like very late, I think really hurt him. And then some of these other later pushes that just cost him so much as well, I think further just sank him there, depriving him of power. So some really well played with Stephenn. I mean, he made full use of the Wehrmacht here. Really nice to see that. I do think the packs might have been a bit much here. Had Altair, I think, shifted his taxes up there. I think the packs could have been a liability rather than an asset. But there you go. GG, game over. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Consider supporting the Propagandacast by donating on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Links and cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.